When you are away with England, how much contact you have with the Lionesses?
Well, recently we just went to Spain and we was on the same complex and stuff together, and some of the girls got the opportunity to train up.
It's amazing, obviously, that you've been at England and now obviously captaining the 23s as well. How does that feel?
I think it'll just better me as a player, having that extra responsibility, but also if you're not put in this situation, how are you meant to get better? Making your first team debut, there was no better feeling than that.
You remember the score?
Next question.
Today's episode is brought to you by Umbrella Financial, your go-to for sports and injury cover. Don't let the unexpected rain on your parade during training or that crucial match. Imagine a future where you can play worry-free. With Umbrella Financial, get individually crafted insurance solutions tailored to your sports and lifestyle. Safeguard your passion with comprehensive coverage. Visit Umbrella Financial and let nothing stand between you and your game, because every champion deserves the right protection. Umbrella Financial, play with confidence. Welcome back to episode 7 of This Girl Can Play, and we're absolutely buzzing to welcome Missy-Bo Kearns to the podcast today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm made up to be on here. I think you're doing great things, so it's good to get involved.
Yeah, we were talking before. Leon is absolutely ecstatic that you're here.
From the first moment me and Andy spoke about bringing this podcast on, Missy was my number one because she is Daisy's idol. Absolute 100%. She loves her to bits. I took Daisy to watch her first women's football game back in 2019, and her whole attitude towards football changed from that day. And ever since then, she goes on that football pitch with her hair slicked back and the little white headband like bow. So it is incredible that these girls have got idols.
Brilliant. So from the start, like we always do, Bo, take us back your journey. Just like our listeners, where did it start for you? Again, we always say why football.
So I don't think I really got into football till I was like 5, 6. Like team-wise, I used to just play in the garden with my cousins, and my cousins who were around my age were all boys. So it started off, it was Bo getting goal. So then I was quite clever. I realised quite quick being in goal isn't the place where you really want to be.
No.
So I ended up running around, tackling them, getting on the ball, and just playing like kids, and gradually got better and better. My cousins played for teams and stuff, so that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be like them, and I ended up signing for Mossley Hill Boys and played for them for a year or two. While playing for them, I played for a girls' team called Liverpool Feds, and my mum used to have to be on Heron Eccles, the field was called, from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock, because I used to play for my age, then the year above, and then the year above, and the year above. She used to hate it. I think she used to have to bring sandwiches with her because she'd be there for hours. I'd play 4 matches of a Saturday, and she'd be like, oh, but I'd just be made up and loved it.
Yeah, brilliant. And in that team as well, Curtis Jones in there, same age group?
Mossley Hill, Curtis Jones, Bobby Duncan. We had a really good team. It was very good to be playing and training with them types of players, and you knew from that age Curtis was very good. Like we were 6, 7, and he'd take a player on and go back to take them on again just because he knew he could, and that'd be like every single time. And he used to have his hair gelled up like Ronaldo. Like he knew.
But that went down well in Liverpool.
This was before, like you just knew he had it.
Yeah.
So obviously playing with players like that brought your game on massively. So from then, you know, playing grassroots, where did your game go after that?
Then I was playing in a local youth club, and a family friend of ours was Tony Duggan, and she was at Everton at the time, and she come to the youth club because she used to go there, and she got me trials for Everton. I didn't know there was girls setups at this point, so when I got told, I was like, oh. So I went to one trial at Everton and said to my mum, I wonder if there's Liverpool. There's been Liverpool, so I went to the Liverpool ones, and when I was 8, I signed for Liverpool and never went back to Everton.
don't remind him of that, Bo.
I don't think they ever forgot. I remember always having a little wind up with the person who was in charge there, because I just went straight to Liverpool as soon as any opportunity come.
And like you said, you've been there ever since then. So how was it, growing up in and around Liverpool Academy then?
It was intense because you're going to school till 3 o'clock. You're going home, getting changed, having something quick to eat, and then you're in training. And we used to train 5 till 7 at that age, and then you'd come home, bath, eat again, and then you're up for school again the day after, and you have to do homework and all that. So for a young age, it's intense and it was full on. But obviously, I'd be kicking a ball round the house if I wasn't at training, so it made no difference to me. Probably a bit different from my mum and my nan standing there in the freezing cold, but the level and how much it's changed. Like, we used to train on sand astros in a school, and like, that's what I remember growing up as a Liverpool player, and used to get on the coach and play away games when I was 8, 9, and the experience that I've had, the coaching, you wouldn't have got that at the grassroots level.
No.
I don't think in my time. Now, completely different. The game's growing, it's massive, and the amount of girls that you see now in football kits and playing, it's so good, but it's scary at the same time because it's a shock, like how big it's gone so quick.
Yeah, so you've seen it firsthand, haven't you? Kind of the development of the women's game, especially from an academy perspective. So you did under 8s. Was it then under 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s? Yeah.
So it was 11s, 13s, 15s.
Oh, okay.
Then it was meant to be 17s, but I was in the year where they changed it then to even numbers. So then it went to 16s. So then I lost the year of youth football. So I had 1 year at under 16s due to my birthday. And then I was playing reserves football as soon as I turned 16, just because they took away that extra year of under 17s, which then again was a massive step because reserve football then was open age. Yeah. So my body hadn't fully developed yet. Obviously on the ball, I could hold my own, but physically and stuff, I was like half the size of most of the players I'd come up against. But I think it made me a better player.
Yeah, how did you deal with that, being kind of quite small in a team full of women?
I think I just want to play football, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You've got to be. I've never ever been the biggest and the strongest in the team, so it was no different to me. If you're a few steps ahead on the ball or trust your ability, you can hold your own. But that was the first time I probably had a little setback because I played a lot in the youth, played probably near a lot of minutes. I was fortunate enough for that, but when I went to the reserves, I wasn't starting the first few games because there was girls a few years older than me who'd been there. So it was a bit of like, what's going on here? Obviously not nice. No one doesn't want to play. But bit my lip, worked hard, and then I ended up in the team.
Quality.
Would you do much extra training while you wasn't getting in? Yeah,
I used to always be playing, and sometimes I'd finish training and be doing extra sessions. I remember after that season, it was the under-17 Euros. So I went and I got injured in the semi-final against Germany and done me ankle ligaments and stuff, touch wood. And I was out for a bit, but then I got a phone call saying the first team want you to go on pre-season tour, but it was like a fast turnaround, so done everything I could to make sure I was fit. Went on the tour, come back, went in for a tackle, done it again. So it was just little setbacks, just being young and naive because I just wanted to play all the time. But when I was first training with the first team, they trained every day. I was still asking, can I go and train with the reserves overnight? So I was doing double sessions just because I wanted to do more and extra.
Yeah. Did they let you?
I mean, eventually they made me stop, but at the start I was getting away with it, yeah.
So what advice should you give them both to sort of, our daughter, the 12? What advice should you give them, they look up at you now as WSL, Liverpool, well, go roll it right back. What advice should you give them at the age of 12 now? Is it just work, or?
I think you've got to have the balance of working and when you're doing it, making sure you're doing it 110%, but also resting now. I think it's a massive part. But while you're young, you don't need rest. So that's no excuse. I think any opportunity, even if it's just half an hour, even if you're just practicing shooting, if you're tired or whatever, if you do 10 good ones a day, that's 70 shots a week. Over a month, it adds up, just 10 a day. I think just repetition and repetition. And I think sometimes now I might be guilty of when you're not in the mood to do a few extras because the session might have not gone your way. But if you miss that one day, then it's habit. So it happens the day after, and you don't realise how much time you're wasting, and someone else out there will be doing it. So the way the game's growing, you'll get knocked out your place.
Amy Kelly touched on that, didn't she? A lot about working on the 1%, whether that's your touch or keep your piece in the garden, like you say, against the wall,
Left
work,
foots.
that.
Those 1% are massive, aren't they?
Yeah,
and like Bo just said, is someone out there will be doing it.
Someone will be doing it.
You possibly face in a trial in 6 months. So even when the days aren't going perhaps the way you want them to go, keep working hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's discipline, isn't it? And moving forward with what you want to do. So was that under 17 yours and the first time you got picked up by England, or were you with Anfield?
Under 15s, I went to a few like camps and whatever, but at first I wasn't fully in getting chosen regularly. Under 16s, when I broke through and I was getting selected near enough every camp. But I mean, every call-up's an honour, and you can never take them for granted because you never know what can happen. So I think you've always got to be on your A game because there's so many talented players out there now that if you're not, someone else is coming and taking your place. You're not guaranteed.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, obviously, that you've been at England and now obviously captaining the 23s as well. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a massive honour, and I think it's a bit of extra responsibility because out of the group that we've got this season, I'm probably one of the more experienced players because I was with the 23s last year, where some of the girls only moved up from the 19s this season. So I can use my experience of last season, and I think it'll just better me as a player having that extra responsibility. But also, I think I've got the leadership and I've got the attributes to be able to do it. But if you're not put in the situation, how are you meant to get better? I've got so much to learn, and having the opportunity is only going to help me learn.
So do you think that's something that's developed with obviously being in and around academy football and international football, the leadership role, or do you think you were more of a born leader?
I think I just have my opinion and I'm not scared to say it. That's one thing about me, and that's one thing that's probably got a good impact on why. If I don't agree, or I'll always ask a question, like, well, why? Well, I want to know the answers and I want to learn. So I think that's one big thing, and I'm not scared to question others, if that makes sense. Well, then why? Well, why do you think that? I think just little things like that make a difference. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect captain,
No,
but like it's just little things. There's some players have it, some players are more quieter.
Yeah.
I'm not loud, but I'm not quiet. I'm quite social. Some players like to just be in their own bubble, so everyone's different. So
I was going to say that. So as skipper of England on the 23s, are you sort of looking on and changing rooms, right? I need to go and put my arm around that girl there, or I know that girl's in a bubble, I'm going to leave her alone. Are you sort of as a captain, you're aware of those different sort of personalities?
Yeah, everyone's got different personalities, and internationally it's quite tough because we don't spend a lot of time together. It might be 10 days and then we might not see each other for 2-3 months. So the first few days is always catching up with everyone, not just me. Everyone's catching up. Well, how's the past few months been? How have you been getting on? Just little things, but we've been around each other now where we can understand or see if someone's not having the best day to pick them up. And it's hard being an elite international athlete. You spend a lot of time away from home, and some people might need a bit more reassurance or whatever. Plus, if you're not playing, it can be frustrating. So just little things and little comments might make people feel much better.
So as an England group of girls, then when you do go away, how close are the girls? Is it a really nice environment to be involved in? And does it sort of take the pressure off you, sort of the Liverpool pressure, that sort of you can park that again? I said to Elise Hughes, and you can park that pressure of club football and going and enjoy an international break.
Yeah, I think it's like a breath of fresh air. It breaks the season up. You go and you're with a different set of groups. You might be playing a different style of play, or you're with a different set of players. It's like you're playing two different little seasons, if that makes sense, because it's completely different football. And with it being youth, we're in a competitive league at the minute, but you can obviously play and enjoy it more because you're not live on Sky every single week and just little things.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you forget how young me and some of the girls are, and we've still got so much to learn, but the experience and exposure and stuff we're getting is only going to make us better. But everyone's on different stages of the journey. So I think that's when you realise when we come back together, we can see who's kicked on from the last camp and who might be having a little dip, but that's football.
Yeah, that is football. And then you're sort of, when you are away with England, how much contact you have with the full squad, the full Lionesses? Do you train them at all? Are you involved in them at all? Do you do anything with them as a group?
Well, recently we just went to Spain and we was on the same complex and stuff together, and some of the girls got the opportunity to train up. One of them got called up to be in the squad, so
fantastic.
We mirror what they do, and obviously our schedules aren't exactly the same. We play different fixtures and stuff, but the pathway's there, and I've seen some of my mates get called up this season and make the debut, so it shows it's possible, so it's really nice to see. Yeah,
fantastic. And then we've mentioned before, is that sort of, especially with the draw today for next year's Euros, is that sort of your real strong ambition now to, you've seen your mates go up now, you're pushing forward for that place yourself?
Yeah, 100%, and I'd be a bit worried if that wasn't in the back of my mind because you want to be playing at the top level, and for me that's what it is. So I'm going to work hard and improve on the things that I need to improve on to give myself the best chance.
How close are you about getting there?
I don't know, it's all about opinions and how well you're doing and stuff, and I can just focus on me and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, exactly. Great advice. I'd look after yourself and work hard, and then you'll reap the rewards, won't you?
Control the controllables.
Yeah, and I think we've got no doubt you'll do it, with a mindset like that, 100%. Just go back to Liverpool then. So you're obviously at school and in the academy at the same. When did that kind of stop? Did you have a job, or did you go straight into signing a professional contract?
I didn't sign a professional contract straight away. So in the women's game, it was tended to be you was 18, then you might get offered one. Not saying you definitely would, but I was 18 in the April and I didn't sign my first professional contract till the January window, like in that Christmas time. So I had to work hard, and it wasn't just given on the plate to me. It was prove yourself first at this level and show us what you can do. And then I obviously got rewarded, and it was a massive relief. All my hard work since the day I signed for the club had paid off, because when I was growing up in school, my mum would say, "Oh, what do you want to be when you're older?" And it was, I want to be a footballer. And when I was younger, my family probably didn't think it'd be possible and the game would ever get to this stage. So they were a bit like, "Well, you need a backup plan." And I was like, "No, I want to be a footballer," and I wouldn't take any other answer really. So I'm glad it's paid off.
I suppose that takes you to a good mentality as well, that you just aren't giving it on a plate. So you have to work hard to gain it. You aren't just offered a contract straight away. Here's a massive contract, and basically you can take your eye off the ball a little bit. You do have to work hard week in, week out to gain that contract.
That's the thing with football as well. Just because you've signed one contract doesn't mean you're guaranteed a full career. No. You're only signed a few years, and then as soon as you've signed a contract, the day after you're working again for the next contract. Yeah. You can't switch off.
Yeah, and I think your hard work shows in the achievements you've had. You've had a few player of the seasons, haven't you? And you've become the face of Liverpool, really, from a women's point of view. Must be great, playing for Liverpool, which is born and bred as well. Yeah.
I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I think everyone knows that. So for me, it's just a dream. I've imagined all of this when I was younger, and I'm living my dream day in, day out. But I've still got so much more I want to achieve and do. So hopefully this is just the start.
When you're walking down sort of past Anfield now, because I was there for the Premier League game, I looked up and I saw you above the store. You just pinch yourself seeing the huge banners about, and you've just been announced as the Liverpool Foundation, you're ambassador to them. You are you're you are the face of Liverpool Women's Football Club. What does that mean to a proud Scouse like you, and that city of yours, by the way, the people are so genuine, aren't they? It's the vibe you get in that city, Liverpool, as the people. How often do you get stopped? What's the vibe? You know, is it just, you must be buzzing about all this.
Yeah, I think it's a massive thing, but I'm still just Bo, and all my mates and my family will definitely say I haven't changed. I only started doing my washing a few weeks ago. Just little things like I'm just still the same person. I still go around to my mum's, my nan's the same amount of times that I would have been doing a few years ago. Nothing's really changed from that end, but obviously, as you said, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you might get noticed and stuff, and I think it's just a nice feeling. And
Yeah, that's your way.
I was that kid that used to be looking around, and if I was going to the match, there's Coutinho or whatever, and obviously that's happening with little boys and girls now. And I think if you can be a role model to someone, you just want to be giving off the best impression of yourself. So that's what I try and do day in, day out, whether I'm in football or whether I'm walking around town and going for a Nando's. It's people are you don't know, people are watching, so it's the impression you give off.
Yeah, and I think that comes across, doesn't it, as well, when you do see the little fans, and when you've met our daughters outside before we came on air, and you've made their evening for sure. But and how important is that then to give back to those young girls and boys, I suppose, who now look up, and how important is it to you, Bo, to make sure that you understand that you were there once and that you are now their idol?
Well, I think for me, they're the next generation, and they're supporting us week in, week out. So it's nothing for us to give back some of our time, because before you know it, they'll probably be knocking on the door, taking your place the way the game's growing and stuff. So I think it's just nice to be nice, and it doesn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm. And then on the mural in house in Liverpool, when were you first told that was happening? The painting on the house, or did you just literally rock up one day and go, hold on a minute?
Well, I was meant to be surprised, but social media, my face wasn't done on it yet, but it's obviously on my picture on social media, so the image and stuff was done, everything but the face. So someone's walked past, seen a picture and tagged it in me on it on Twitter. So I sent it to my dad and was like, seen this? And he was like, no, what? As if like and I showed him. He didn't know, and he was like, whoa. And we was just in shock. And I was like, do you reckon it's actually me? And he was like, well, it is your picture.
So none of your family knew either?
No.
I've done it.
So they just gone to social media feed, got to pull up a picture and just do it on the side, 40 foot high on a house?
It was through one of the Liverpool's Women's Supporters Club, so they had it all organised and stuff, but they was going to contact my dad and get me to come and say, come to the hotel tier, the hotel facing, and I was meant to get like a surprise, but obviously it got blew up before, so...
Bet they were fuming, weren't they?
Probably, but I mean, it still got the same
it's
feeling and reception that it would have anyway, because I was gobsmacked. I still am now. I get goosebumps speaking about it. I still can't believe it. And
you imagine as a little girl going in your picture, and I think the picture itself where you got sort of a young girl looking up at you and you're lifting a trophy is, like I said, it gives you goosebumps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute goosebumps.
It must be amazing for your parents as well. It must be an absolute, how proud they are of you to have that in the town of the city of Liverpool as well. It must be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think they're over the moon, and I still think sometimes they think, how's this even possible, from the sessions and stuff, and the way the games grew over the past 10 years. I remember when I was in the younger age groups and I'd be going to watch the women's team, and that's when Liverpool used to be winning the Super League back to back, and you'd have never thought the standard was amazing and the players were good. You just didn't think the game would be getting this recognition. Well, I didn't think, but look at it now, it's scary.
How important, you talk about our parents, and you touched on them. How important were they really to your career today?
They're the ones that put the food on the table. They take you to A to B when you're not able to. And I think if they chose to not do that and take me to training or whatever, where would I be now? Because definitely wouldn't be playing for Liverpool, because it all started when I was 8, and the consistency, doing it week in, week out, even if they had work finding a way round to still get me there, because you can't just say, oh, I'm in work, Bo can't come today. You're at an elite academy. So it's, they found a way every single time to make me available to be there so I can do what I love and enjoy. And they sacrificed a lot. My mum probably wanted to be watching Coronation Street or something, but even if my mum couldn't make it, my nan would be there, stood under the umbrella, and I'll tell you now, she wanted me in dresses and stuff. She didn't want me there, but now she's my biggest fan and she comes to all my matches, and I think she could know the offside rule. So
You've educated her then on the offside rule?
I think so, because every time I go on Twitter, she's retweeting something to do with football. And
it's crazy for her to think, like, from standing under an umbrella to watching you at, like, Anfield or something. It's just absolutely crazy, isn't it?
What's it like then, playing in front of, adoring fans at Anfield and your massive crowds? What's that feel like, Bo, for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable. Playing at Anfield was one of the best days of my life. Really enjoyed it. The results obviously haven't gone our way, which hopefully next time it will, but the experience and the whole day and just stepping foot on the pitch, and when the floodlights are on, it's completely different. The atmosphere just gives you that extra energy and, like, wow. It's hard to explain unless you feel it and experience it, if that makes sense.
So what you probably never have dreamed of either, would you, as a young girl?
Yeah, I reckon I dreamed of it, but didn't think it would come possible. Yeah.
Amazing.
And then you've been very, very open as well, both. I'm going to touch on that on your ADHD. You mentioned, you have the autism on your boots as well. What advice would you give then to any young girl who's perhaps got this, the ADHD, autism, but they really want to get involved in the football, but perhaps don't because they're panicking about it? What would you say?
I think nothing can stop you, and I think everyone's completely different, and no person in this world's the exact same. So just keep telling yourself that, and no one can judge, because who are they comparing you to? Because there's no one the same as you to compare you to. And I think that's just a massive thing for me. And autism's definitely something close to my heart in my family, and it's so, you hear of it a lot more now, and I think a lot of people have got a lot more awareness of it on social media and stuff, and no one's different, and I think if people know that, then anyone's capable of doing anything.
I think people are more aware of it now, simply the fact that the profile of yourself, Bo, and other leading sports people, like on the boots. I know Paul Mullen, the Wrexham, Wrexham, and I think it's down to like people like yourself, Bo, who are educating the world by being so open and discussing it, which I think is a really, really good thing.
Yeah, 100%. So, have you got what's your most kind of cherished moment in a Liverpool shirt? If you had to put it down to one moment, what do you think? It's a tough one because you've got so many, haven't you? But what's the proudest one?
I think becoming Liverpool Women's youngest captain could be one, but also like making your debut. I think even though I barely touched the ball, just running around and just making your first team debut, there was no better feeling than that. But I still feel the same every game that I play now. But your first one, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Really doing it.
Where was your debut, Bo? Where was it?
Prenton Park.
Prenton Park against who you playing?
Chelsea.
Oh,
not a bad
pretty decent game then, yeah.
Welcome to Liverpool. You remember the score?
Next question.
Right, moving on. You can Google it yourself, can't you?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you score?
Just said I barely touched the ball.
So then, what's the future hold then, Bo? What's your aspirations? We touched on in England regarding Liverpool career. Are you planning to stay there? Is that your dream? One club? To stay there in entirety, or have you got plans? What's the future hold for Bo?
I want to obviously get in the England first team and win things for my country, but also for my club. I'm a competitive person and I like to win, whether it's a game of rock, paper, scissors, or it's a tournament or a match. I love winning. I'm a sore loser, so win as much as possible. And for club-wise, I think football's football and you never know what's round the corner. And I think obviously I'd love to play for Liverpool for the rest of my career, but sometimes football things can be taken out of your control. So you just got to take things day by day and keep working hard, and whatever happens, happens, and we'll cross that path when it comes to it.
And like you said, then you control the controllables, so you control what you do, daily work ethic, how you come across, grafting, and whatever happens off the pitch happens in it. But
that's it.
Cracking start career-wise.
But for our girls now listening, and obviously a lot of the girls that are listening, what does a daily training day look like for Bo?
So we've got to be in like 9:45 for breakfast, so guess what time I get up?
9:30.
I get up at 9, but I live 5 minutes away. So I get up, have a shower, get ready, take like my vitamins and stuff like that, just personal things, then go to training, have my breakfast. We'll have a team meeting, then we're in the gym for pre-act. We'll be training, then we eat again, then we'll probably have a gym session after, could be upper body, lower body, and then about recovery, so getting in the ice baths. If you need treatment, get treatment, and then go home, sit on the couch, probably watch Netflix for a few hours, then see what footy's on. That's probably the... Also, I have a struggle every single day. What am I going to have for my tea? Because a lot of the girls take food home from football, but if I've ate stuff in the day, I tend to not want it in the night. So then I get home and I think, why didn't I bring food home from football?
You gotta make something now.
But then it's, what do I want? So I think that's one of my daily struggles.
So is that every day then?
Not every day, because sometimes you feel like something, but I mean like just
This is a food podcast.
I love food.
do you train every day? I meant, sorry.
Yeah,
Should I
we
make that
might
clear?
get 1 or 2 days off a week.
Okay.
So when I've got days off, I like to see family, friends, chill, go for food.
Nando's.
But just making the most of the time we've got. But the days aren't short. When we're there, it's quite intense and stuff. So when I get home, it's on the couch and relax, feet up, because when you wake up in the morning, back to work.
To finish off then, Bo, and I'm such an delightful chat then, I've loved it. 7-a-side team, your best 7-a-side team players you've played with. So, you keeper, you can do any formation you want, the only rule is you can't put yourself in. So every guest has done it.
Back your own ability now.
Yeah. You can be manager, but that's about it.
Okay,
So
I'm manager.
Who you got in goal?
Rachel Lawsey.
Lordy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lawsey,
Yes.
she's so good.
Yeah.
Cat, so good with her feet, and I love her. She's hysterical. So
See, yeah, so-
yeah.
Everyone struggles to count when they do this team.
yeah.
I'll let you into a little secret, Bo. It was a 5-a-side
Team.
team, but someone messed it up.
So our first guest on the podcast turned into a 7-a-side team. That's why it's called the Lily Jones 7-a-side team.
Centre off, Niamh Fahey.
Okay.
So experienced. She's always at 8 or 9 out of 10. And like, she's a proper leader, and she brings good vibes and knows when to have a laugh and a joke and then when to be serious. But her career's been unbelievable. So that's 2. 5 to go. Should we go attack or defensive?
A lot of people have gone 2-2-2, haven't they?
Oh yeah. Or 2-3-1.
Yeah.
I think of another defender. Hannah Silcock.
Honestly.
Verge, I call her. Well, we all call her. So Hannah, I've knew her since we were kids. She was a few years below me, and growing up, she's always been unbelievable. And the past few seasons, we've been lucky enough to play with each other. Obviously, a lot more in training and at the 23s recently, but Hannah's going to be one player to watch for the future, and I think she's got huge potential, and I can't wait to play with her more and see how far she goes. So I'm going to say Verge.
That's your back 2 locked in then.
Yeah, there's me defence, solid.
So
So now we'll go attack, because I know they'll just stay back and defend. Centre mid, probably go. So hard players. Jess Parks in there. Loved playing with her youth age groups at England, and she's shining at the minute.
yeah.
She's flying
I
at City.
think we was both on the same wavelength, so I loved playing with her.
It's hard when you get put on the
It's
spot
so
and you just go blank. You don't want to offend anyone either.
I've only played for Liverpool and,
Yeah.
and England, so that's for only 3 players, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 to go.
Four to go.
4 to go.
I know,
So
it's
you got
4.
your
Yeah, you
keeper,
got 4.
You got
yeah,
your keeper. You got 2
3 to
centre
go.
halves. You got your centre midfield locked in. So you
I
got
need more defensive CDM. This is hard.
You don't actually
Does
have to
everyone
play
else
with them.
take this one?
What's that?
Does everyone else take
No,
this one?
yeah, it does take some thinking. It does take some
Um,
thinking.
it is a tough one.
Could just go all out with that.
Ruby Mace.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
we're in.
We're going quite young,
Yeah. Your squad.
except for Neve and Lawsy. They won't mind.
You could have got away with that one then.
Ruby, we've been playing together at England the past season, and she's so good on the ball, so comfortable, and defensively as well. I think she's another one that's going to be really exciting for the future, and it shows how exciting it is for English football having these players coming through. So I'll go Ruby, Jess, then on the wing, I'll go. Stuck again.
2 to go, Bo. Come on.
Is there only 2?
Only got 2 left.
6.
2 left. Yeah. You got what? A striker and someone to put out wide for you.
Can't play 1 out wide.
Where you gone?
Making it 8-a-side.
Right side.
So hard.
Keeper's locked in. 2 centre halves locked in. 2
Two
midfield.
centres.
2
Yeah.
centre mids locked in.
So that's 5. So
Yeah.
I've got 2 more.
Yeah.
Trying to think, because I'm just thinking about my team right now. I'm trying to think about a few seasons ago who was around. My brain has gone blank.
No, it is actually really hard when you put
Is it?
on the
Yeah.
spot. Like,
Yeah.
just
Maybe we've had 2 players sent off.
What about your striker? Go back there. Go striker. Go 2 up top.
Sophie Roman Hogg, at the minute, she's been
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
She's doing really well. She's scoring goals, and that's all you want from your
Yeah,
strikers.
yeah.
And even though I'm manager, so if I'm in training, would love to be whipping balls into her head.
Go on, you took yourself in then. How was that? You put
Am I
yourself.
allowed?
You're allowed in.
And I'm
Yeah.
in.
You're
You're
in.
in.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
yeah, that's
That's some team.
That's some team, that, isn't it?
It's got a bit of everything.
Bit of pace, bit of youth, bit of maturity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good team.
Love it. Love it.
Well, Bo, thank you very, very much for coming to see us. It's been an absolute honour to
Yeah.
chat to yourselves, and I think we'll all agree with a lot from that, and I'm sure the young
pleasure.
listeners have as well, and some great advice, Bo, and
Been
really
an absolute pleasure.
absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
No, thank you
Brilliant.
very much, Bo.